What is up, guys? Today I'm reviewing Kraken at SeaWorld Orlando. This is a B&M Floorless coaster at SeaWorld Orlando. Before I move on, I'm going to start with the stats first. This is 150 feet, so it's not too tall. It reaches a max speed of 65 miles per hour, has a drop of 144 feet, and it includes 7 inversions, and they're all executed perfectly with the ride. Now let's say this is going to be a very unpopular opinion, but this ride is phenomenal. This is one of my all-time favorite coasters I've ever ridden. This ride, it's just, I don't know why. Maybe, I think, so first let's start pros, and the pro is, this is my favorite part of the ride, the layout. This layout, this is probably my favorite layout ever. I love Kraken's layout. I can literally just sit back and just watch this coaster, this ride. The layout's incredible. I love Kraken's layout. It's just executedly perfect with inversions, some terrain dives, and a tunnel. So it's awesome. Also, this ride, it's a lot of fun too. It's a phenomenal coaster. My personal preference is back row to the right. That is the magic seat. This is where you get a phenomenal ride. And it's also like you can see this coaster pretty much almost everywhere at the park. It's like a really tall coaster. I mean, back then it used to look massive. This ride looked gargantuan before Mako came. Now Mako's here, Kraken looks a lot smaller. So yeah, I mean, it doesn't impact the ride at all. This ride's still phenomenal as ever. And also, Kraken's getting VR this year, and it'll be renamed Kraken Unleashed. I cannot wait for Kraken Unleashed. It's gonna be a really cool ride. Plus, just walking by, it looks incredible. I love the sights of Kraken. Now, getting to the ride, so the pros of the ride, I love the inversions. All the inversions are good. I mean, I wouldn't say there's any bad inversions on this. They're all good. They're all pretty awesome. However, I do have some cons. Now, I mean, they're not really cons. I mean, Kraken, this is people's main problem with Kraken. They say it's very rough, very shaky, very rattly. And I disagree. I mean, yes, I do think it's a little rough. And the front row, I will say, it is quite painful, actually. It's quite bumpy in the front. I say the back row is smoother, which is odd. Normally, it's not the case with B&M roller coasters. Normally, the front's smoother. But for this one, I'd say the back's smoother. It's a little weird. Also, one of the versions of the ride, which is that final corkscrew, does bang your head. It's only once. It's not bad, but it's noticeable. But I understand it's an older coaster. It opened in 2000, so I remember probably back then. I mean, I wasn't alive when this ride opened. I remember it looked glossy smooth in the POVs. It looked glossy smooth. Now it's it's a little rough. I mean, for smoothness, it's not bad. I'd probably give maybe like a 7 out of 10. It's not bad for smoothness. It's definitely a smooth coaster, I would say that. I don't think it really impacts the ride at all. It's still, again, just a phenomenal ride, just as always. But it's just, the smoothness of the ride, it's kind of noticeable. But getting with the ride, it is phenomenal. Just everywhere, the ride. Okay, now let's start with the, here's a picture of it, probably back in the day. So let's get to the ride now. Video credit goes to James C. So let's get to the ride. So you exit the station. Forgot to tell you, this ride is also not the best shape ever. It's very rusty. So you exit the station, make a little turn, and you get into this massive lift hill. Now I will say this: the ride is very rusty. This ride needs to be repainted. I will say that. So let's skip lift hill footage because lift hill footage is boring as heck. Okay, now let's exit these. So you exit lift hill, go through pre-drop, make a left turn or a right turn, and then you go down this massive 144-foot drop, and you go into this vertical loop. This is a very good vertical loop. You actually get a little hang time. I'm not gonna lie. And then we go to this dive loop. It's just another element. It's a really good dive loop. And then this is my favorite part of the ride, the zero-G roll. This is my second favorite zero-G roll ever, only behind Kuma. So then you hit trims, and you hit the Cobra roll. It's a nice Cobra roll, not the best Cobra roll in the world, but it's fine. I'm not big on Cobra rolls, but that one's fine. So then you make a left turn, enter the mid-course brake run, which doesn't even really slow you down much at all. So then you make a left drop, and then you enter the loop with some head choppers in it. So then another trims, which you don't even feel the trims at all. Then you make this weird like airtime mill, which you don't even get airtime. You hit the awesome tunnel. This tunnel's epic. And then you hit that rough corkscrew. Corkscrew's a little rough, not too bad. So then you fly into the final brake run. Now, and then you make a right turn into the brakes to the station. Now, I will say this: the final brake run, be prepared. That final brake run sucks if you're not prepared. It is it's super sudden. It's like it just like jolts you if it's not right. So yeah, so I will say that the final brake run is a little jolty if you're not prepared for it. It's rough if it, yeah, just brace yourself for that element. But for the rest of just the rest of the ride, this is phenomenal. This is one of my all-time favorites. Like I say, I mean, it doesn't sound like much from the way I'm saying it, but this ride, trust me, this is one of my all-time favorite coasters. Currently my number 5 coaster, but probably currently right now my favorite coaster with inversions. So for Kraken's final score, what am I giving it? You're all gonna hate me for this. 9.5 out of 10. This is truly one of my favorite coasters ever. I can say this is probably the second best coaster in Florida and second best coaster at SeaWorld, just behind Mako for both. I will say this, I mean, I could kind of put number 6 if I ride it probably in the front row. It's between this or Kumba. I could put number 5. It could go either way for me, but this truly is one heck of a ride. And that is it for this review. Do you agree with me? Do you not? I want to know. Also, one more thing, this ride is pretty intense. I will say that. It's really intense. So, do you agree with me in this? I want to know your thoughts on Kraken. Don't forget to subscribe. See you next time.